Danny, thanks for joining us on Panthers TV. You've had a tough schedule in the week. Trip to Fife, trip to Dundee, then back to Nottingham. 6 points out of 6. How pleased were you with what you saw over the 3 games?
Well, I mean, I couldn't be much happier, if I'm honest. I think both results, obviously, but performance as well. Fife on Wednesday, first time up to Scotland, first time doing the trip on the day of the game, and the guys handled it so well. Got better as the game went on. I thought we were smart in the first 5 or 6 until we got our legs going. And then on Saturday, a little bit different in terms of, I think our start was phenomenal. We just, for whatever reason, we had the legs and put them under pressure. I think, again, I'm not, shots are shots in terms of volume, but I think it was 20-5 in the first period, but a lot of grade A's as well. I thought we were unlucky to be only 1-0 up after that period, but 2-0 up. And then, to bring it back at home on Sunday, I thought 52, 53 minutes, we were good. I wasn't crazy about our last 7 minutes, but whether it was maybe the week catching up or maybe just a little bit of a switch off, maybe. We obviously addressed that this morning, but, all together, just, really pleased at how the guys handled the week and how they performed.
We've had our ups and downs this year. Is this last few games closer to what the Panthers hockey you want to see?
Absolutely, but in terms of you're saying ups and downs, I think that's sport. I think every team's going to go through it, or already has at some point this year. I don't think there's one team in this league that started clean and has kept that going. So it's a good league. You're going to have tough tests on the road, tough tests at home, and we got to continually remind ourselves that after winning the playoffs last year, teams are coming in this building with a bite between their teeth and they want to beat us. So we're gonna have tough nights every night. So yeah, it's the ups and downs are gonna happen, but like I said, these last 3 games is exactly how we want to play and what we want to be.
And talking about those ups and downs, is it as well how you ride those ups and downs about whether you can be successful? I know it's a cliche, but don't get too high with the highs because they're huge, and then the low moments as well. As a team, if they can ride those ups and downs, is that what makes a team successful?
Of course. There's going to be nights where maybe just you're not connected, or the legs aren't there, or there's the typical bad night at the office that everyone has once in a while. It's how you respond to that the next night, and I think for the most part we've done a good job with that.
Coventry then on Wednesday. I think Matt Alfaro said in his post-game interview that you mentioned it's going to be almost like a playoff game, and that's what it is, and I guess that has to be the mentality.
Not almost. It is. It's 100% a playoff game. You know what? We win that game in regulation, we're through to the semifinal, we book our ticket, and if that's not enough motivation for the guys, then I don't know what else you can do. So big one. It's going to be a tough test. Coventry's a hard-working team. They got great goaltending. He's a guy that can steal you a game, as he's already proven this year, and they've got enough quality up front to burn you if you're not smart with a puck.
How much credit do you give the guys? Because I know we've had to have some results go our way to get to this position, but also you've had to be almost perfect effectively since you were nearly out of the competition. How much credit do you give the guys for getting themselves into this situation?
Yeah, other results. I don't necessarily put it down to that. I think, we started 1-3, and to turn it back and go 4-1 since then is a heck of a job by these guys. To go into Sheffield, to go into Cardiff and win in regulation, to put yourself in this position, it's fully on the guys. So we've got that control back in our hands now, and it's down to them to go out there and get the job done.
You kind of touched on it earlier, but just to push you a bit more on Coventry, they've had some up and down just like anyone, but where are they going to be strong, do you think, on Wednesday?
Well, they're structured, and like I said, they work hard. They don't give up, on pucks. They don't give up in a game. Doesn't matter what the score is. They continue to play the same way, and the goaltending, I think, is a big one. He's one of the more elite guys in the league, and he has the ability to steal you a game. So we got to make sure that we're getting to those hard areas and making it tough on them all night.
Finally, I must say, you're looking great for a man that's only had a few hours sleep. Your baseball team made the World Series, isn't it?
Yeah.
Final, Toronto. Just tell me a bit about that, because I know it's a big passion of yours.
It is. I've been a Blue Jays fan since I started watching TV, and inherited it from my mom. Actually, was a Blue Jays fan, and my older brother. So I've been a diehard fan my whole life. Obviously got to experience the back-to-back World Series when I was 13, 14 years old, and it's been 32 years since they've been back. So I'm ecstatic. I shut off a Stanley Cup finals game for a regular season Blue Jay game. So that's how much I enjoy watching the Jays.
Brilliant. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.